Hey, what's up? So it's Ashlyn here. We have 11 books here that we hauled. We still have a whole another half shelf. This is part of a half shelf, and then the other half shelf. So we're almost through our ginormous book haul. However, just found out by a coworker. Sorry, I just found out. Come here. I just found out by a coworker that we're actually going. Don't chew my wire. I actually just found out by a coworker she's going to be getting me these blind books, a mystery one and a horror one. So, apologize, I have to have this little thing. Why are you on the table? Oh my goodness, everything's going on right now. Hey, knock it off. What's the matter? Ow, pumpkin. That's cool. Okay, so anyway, let's just get this started. I'm gonna be at work in like an hour, so. Ow! Rude. That was rude. Oh, that's my face. You don't. No. Ow, child. Go that way. Okay, so we have The Way Things Were by Atish Tasser. Not sure if I'm gonna like this one. I'm trying to ignore her. Sorry. It says The Way Things Were opens with the death of Toby, the Maharaja of Kalasuri Katu, a Sanskritist who has not set foot in India for 2 decades. It falls to his son Skanda to return Toby's body to his birthplace, a tin pot kingdom not worth one air gun salute. This journey takes him halfway around the world and returns him to his family in a drawing room elite of Delhi, whose narcissism and infighting he has worked hard to escape. Also forces him to reckon with his parents' marriage, a turbulent love affair that began in passion but ended in pain and futility. Atish Tassir's The Way Things Were takes its title from the Sanskrit word for history, Itihasa, whose literal translation is the way indeed that things were. Using Sanskrit as central metaphor and course, the novel is both an intimate portrait of a family and a panoramic vision of the last half-century of life in Delhi. Okay, so I did not realize it was going to be like that. There's going to be a lot of pronunciation issues in this. So unfortunately, I'm going to actually be getting rid of this. I cannot read books like that because it irritates me when I can't understand what I'm reading, or I can't correctly enunciate or read a name or a place. And you're just going to have to listen to her being whiny because, oh my goodness, what are you doing? Okay, next we have Blueprints for Building Better Girls by Alyssa Chappell. I thought this looked really cool. It's a black cherry, so it sounded interesting. So it says, Alyssa Chappell's, in these 8 darkly funny linked stories, Chappell delves into the lives of an eclectic cast of archetypal female characters, from the high school slut to the good girl, the struggling artist to the college party girl, the wife who yearns for a child to the reluctant mother, to explore the commonly shared but rarely spoken of experiences that build girls into women and women into wives and mothers. In Monsters of the Deep, teenage Heather struggles to balance intimacy with a bad reputation. Years later, in I'm Only Going to Tell You This Once, she must reconcile her memories of the past with her role as the mother of an adolescent son. In The Joy of Cooking, a phone conversation between Emily, a recovering anorexic, and her mother explores a complex bond. In Elephant, we see Emily's sister Paige finally able to voice her ambivalent feelings about motherhood to her new best friend, Charlotte. And in Are You Comfortable, we meet a 21-year-old Charlotte cracking under the burden of a dark secret, the effects of which push Bender, a troubled college girl, to the edge and out of the blue into the black. So this one's really good, and I did not realize it was stories, so that's even better, because honestly, with stories like that, like different stories, technically speaking, you don't have to read every single one if you don't like it. So I can always just skip it and go to the next story. As long as I read at least a majority of them, at least over half, I would consider the book, or at least 70% of them, I would consider the book read. So, why are you yelling at me? What? 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 Meow! Meow! Okay. Sorry. Next we have Dirty Girls by Susan Minot. And I have been looking for this book. I'm so happy I found it. I don't remember what it's about. It does have tackled edges, so that's cool. I did find it in a free section. It's in great shape. So let's read about what this is, because I've been looking for this book. It's on my TBR. The long-awaited novel from the Best-Selling Award-winning author of Evening is a literary tour de force set against the haunting canvas of war-torn Africa. With gripping suspense and exquisite craft, Susan Minot interweaves the stories of two young women fighting for salvation in the face of ruinous brutality and loss. Esther is a precocious Ugandan teenager who is abducted from her Catholic boarding school by Joseph Kony's rebels and, along with 29 of her classmates, forced to witness and commit unspeakable atrocities in the Lord's Resistance Army. Jane is a sensual, idealistic American writer often waylaid by romantic pleasures who has come to Africa hoping to regain her center after her devastating marriage. Absorbed into a group of glamorous, nomadic expatriates, and in a landscape of singular beauty and intensity, Jane is reawakened, but she is on a journalistic mission as well, hoping to give voice to the 30 abducted girls she first heard about back in America, and her reporting draws her ever deeper into Africa's dangerous heart, toward Uganda and toward Esther. In unflinching prose, Minot brings Esther's and Jane's journeys into startling alignment, confronting the most acute dislocation and heartbreak. They travel inexorably toward each other, propelled by moments of shattering violence and the needs to remake themselves in the shadow of it. Filled with emotional nuance, formal daring, and stunning evocations of Africa's splendor and struggles, 30 Girls is Minot's most ambitious and luminous novel yet. So, yeah. It goes into the lives of 30 girls that were abducted, so I'm excited and nervous for it all at once. Next we have this one. Oh my gosh, this one it looks so good just based on the cover. It's a Cynthia Haired Eagles. It's Kill My Darling. Looks like this. I have no idea what this is about. When Melanie Hunter goes missing, it is completely out of character for the polite, friendly paleontologist, and the men in her life come under suspicion. And there's plenty of suspects, lies, half-truths, deceptions. Seems that when you pull one thread, the whole fabric of family life can come apart. It soon becomes clear that there are secrets in Melanie's past and pain she tries to hide from the world. Bill Slider and his team investigate, and if they are to succeed, then they will need to find the answer to two questions. Who loved Melanie and who loved her too much? I'm so excited. This sounds so good. It looks so good. Like, look at that. Ah! Oh my god. Okay, next we have Carolyn Knopf, The Merry Recluse. I have no idea what this one's about either. It says a life in essays. Knopf shows us that her vision through a wider lens is as brilliant as through a narrow one. This collection of essays spanning 15 years of witty, thoughtful, provocative observations on modern culture and women's lives paints the fullest picture of this wonderful writer that we've yet seen. It's also a remarkably full portrait of her writing life, showing how the same themes can engage and expand over a lifetime. Here are Nap's major preoccupations with work and love, with growth and loss, with distance and intimacy. Here are also her ongoing attempt to balance the life of solitude she preferred with the more public life her writing demanded. Solitude, shyness, cereal for dinner, the fine line between boredom and lust, why women ask stupid questions, mastering the art of healthful self-deception. Subjects that are universally poignant while charming, funny, and incisive are explored in both long, thoughtful pieces and light, hilarious essays. This collection shows not only the evolution of a writer, but the delight she took in the process, continually questioning, searching, and evaluating as she sought to find and write about the truth. So this is another one that's a bunch of stories. We love essays. The pages are really like awkwardly put together, but I think it's just because it's been sitting for so long. So, yeah, I'm excited. Alright, let me pick up what I dropped. Okay, next we have What She Knew by Gilly Macmillan. And I've heard good things about this. It sounds really, really up my alley. So it says, Rachel Jenner is walking in a Bristol park with her 8-year-old son, Ben, when he asks if he can run ahead. It's an ordinary request on an ordinary Sunday afternoon, and Rachel has no reason to worry until Ben vanishes. The police are called, search parties go out, and Rachel, already insecure after her recent divorce, feels herself coming undone. As hours and then days pass without a sign of Ben, everyone who knew him is called into question. From Rachel's newly married ex-husband to her mother-of-the-year sister, inevitably media attention focuses on Rachel too, and the public's attitude toward her begins to shift from sympathy to suspicion. As she desperately pieces together the threadbare clues, Rachel realizes that nothing is quite as she imagined it to be, not even her own judgment, and the greatest dangers may lie not in the anonymous strangers of every parent's nightmares, but behind the familiar smiles of those she trusts the most. Where is Ben? The clock is ticking. So, of course, it's a child missing, and we just love it so much. I mean, not that they're missing, but a book about it and the struggles you go through with it and the whole process until you come across this child, either their lifeless body or the safe returned. Next, I have one that people would understand better. This is a guest list by Lucy Foley. And I've been eyeballing this one for a minute, along with The Paris Apartment by Lucy Foley as well. So it says, an exclusive wedding on a remote Irish island. The bride, the +1, the best man, the wedding planner, the bridesmaid, all have a secret, all have a motive, but only one is a murderer. That's all it says. And we love that. Next we have a middle grade. This is 3 Times Lucky by Sheila Turnage. I have no idea what this is about. I picked this one up from a Christian thrift store because of my nonverbal. So let's see what this is. Meet Miss Moses LeBeau, rising 6th grader, natural-born detective, borderline straight-A student, and goddess of free enterprise. Mo washed ashore in Tupelo Landing, North Carolina, 11 years ago during one of the meanest hurricanes in history, and she's been making waves ever since. Mo's summer is looking good. She'll take karate with her best friend, Dale Earnhardt Johnson II, whose daddy believes in naming for the famous, and plot against her sworn enemy, Anna Celeste, a.k.a. Attila. She'll help out at the cafe run by the Colonel and Miss Lana, and continue her lifelong search for her upstream mother. But when the cafe's crankiest customer turns up dead and a city slick lawman shows up asking questions, Mo's summer takes an unexpected turn. With another hurricane bearing down on Tupelo Landing, Mo and Dale set out to save those they love and solve a mystery of epic proportion. I mean, it sounds interesting. It's middle grade, so, you know, it's going to be set up more middle grade-y than anything. I'm excited for it. Alright, I got 3 more. This one. I want this one so bad. I want to read this so bad. I've almost sold the second book, which I purchased as well, but I picked up like that because I read the first one and I was hooked and I wanted to know what happens next. So this is the final A Good Girl's Guide to Murder novel. This is As Good as Dead by Holly Jackson. I'm so excited. Okay, so it says, oh, okay, I can read that one. because it's not part of the series. It's a standalone, I think. Okay. It says, you'll never think of Good Girls the same way again. Pip is still haunted by the way her last investigation ended. She's used to online death threats in the wake of her viral true crime podcast, but soon the threats escalate and Pip realizes that someone is following her in real life. When Pip discovers a connection between her new stalker and a local serial killer, she finds herself in the center of another case. Will her good girl ways die with her, or as the deadly games play out, will Pip risk losing everyone she loves, including herself? Okay, so there's that one, and that was a sticker. She'd be thick. She'd be really thick. This one's more. Oh, wow. This one's a lot thicker. Does it have an excerpt? Oh, 5 survive. Okay. I have to go like on a Holly Jackson binge read one week. I could read these in a day, honestly. So it's 455 pages, this one. And the one I'm reading right now is 399 pages. 98 pages. So, yeah, that was more. So that's cool. Okay, next we have The Telltale Heart and Other Stories by Edgar Allan Poe. This is Master Storytellers. I don't really have to say much about this. I am a huge stan for Edgar Allan Poe. I love Edgar Allan Poe so much. It says a murder victim haunts his killer from beyond the grave and drives him insane with fear. A shadowy corpse stalks the guests at a ball and sentences them to a bloody death. A beautiful young girl is sealed alive in a coffin and returns to avenge her fate. The Telltale Heart, The Mask of the Red Death, The Fall of the House of Usher, plus 7 more eerie tales and 7 poems by the inventor of the modern short story. A master of psychological realism and symbolic terror, Poe writes of men driven outside the known world to the edge of madness. I love Edgar Allan Poe so much. Okay, and the last one is a Heather Graham one. It's called Haunted, and this just looks really good. It says, when does a gift become a curse? I'm almost done. Where are you? Why are you in the bathroom? What? Come here. Come here. Up. Come on. Come on. Come on, Munchkin butt. Come on, little butt. Okay, so this one says, Matt Stone doesn't believe in ghosts, but there are those who are convinced his home, a historic Virginia estate that dates back to the Revolutionary War, is haunted. Pressured to get at the truth about some strange happenings at Melody House, he agrees to let Harrison Investigations explore the house, but he isn't ready for beautiful, intriguing Darcy Trayman. As a paranormal investigator, Darcy has learned to believe in the unbelievable, and she's given Matt fair warning. Sometimes people don't like the skeletons she finds. She never dreamed that warning would apply to herself, for she is about to discover that Melody House holds much more than a simple mystery from the distant past. What it holds is a very real and lethal danger, one that will cast her into a struggle against the worlds of both the living and the dead. Ooh, we always love a Heather Graham book. Her books are just captivating. I hope that this one is just as captivating. And of course, I picked it up because it said haunted. Duh. Okay, so that is all 11, well, technically 10. 10 books that I'm keeping and 1 book that I'm actually going to be getting rid of because I didn't realize when I picked it up what it was really about. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this. If you guys are interested in any of these, let me know, and I will try and do my very, very best to get a review out to you guys as soon as possible. If you do want a review, I typically do them if it's a really, 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 really intriguing book and I want to actually write on it. It'll be on my Goodreads account. So just look for me on Goodreads, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!